Hello my fellow AFK journey connoisseurs and welcome back to this video. So in this video, as the title suggests, we are going to talk about Lily May's strongest PvE team right now. It is not a team that you guys are a stranger to because there's the very common units right there, which are Smoky, Iron, Almas, Hewin together with Lily May. So later on I'll explain how the team works, which is pretty straightforward, and later on also talk about how this team fares for me at the very least for my own usage so far, and showcase a few runs with this team. And I also talk about Lily May's potential as a PvE unit, why she's actually decently good if you're able to let her stand on the battlefield and build up her stacks of the attack buff itself. So first of all, let's introduce the team. We have Smoky, the most omnipotent unit in the game right now. I don't think you can actually find a replacement where you're able to do what Smoky can do in one unit, because Smoky is just able to do a lot, right? Buff, heal, damage, mini stun, and just huge AoE coverage as a whole. So you can use other supports in his place, but I think the harder the stage, right, the tougher the deficit, or the stronger the enemies, the higher level they are, that's where you will start lacking damage. So that's why Smoky is, I'll say, pretty much irreplaceable in late game content pushing, because the damage burn that he can do is just insanely good. So right now, at least until the end of Song of Strife season, I think for any endgame teams to be called efficient, you probably need a Smoky in the team, unfortunately. So this is Smoky, the big brother, right, for all the PvE teams out there. Next, we have the Almas as well as Iron package. So this package is there for control, for repositioning, as well as the magical defense debuff, so that our dear Lily May can do more damage. So this magical defense debuff, control, as well as repositioning comes from Iron, and Almas is there as an additional unit to support Iron in their control sector. At the same time, Almas is also able to act on the front line to just soak up some damage to buy more time for the back line to do the stuff that they want. So we use Hewin as the healer because she offers a massive heal, has the wildest tech, as well as damage reduction. So there are a few replaceable units in this team, or units specifically. You can take out Almas and use Danny. You can also use Freyasto as a frontliner tank. That way you don't have the insta-lock, but you will have, like, I'll say, stronger frontline power, because Danny as well as Freyasto, they are able to tank better on the front line. So that's one variation. You can also replace Hewin with the likes of Coco or even Damien, although you will lose the massive consistent heal numbers if you use Coco, because Coco gives damage reduction as well as shielding, but it's less consistent. And if you do use Damien, then you will be losing out on the damage reduction part. So these are just a few caveats. So that's why this is the team setup right now. And for Lily May's position in the team, this is a carry slash stacking unit in the team, right? She is a unit that's decently good for PvE purposes because of this third skill over here, because she's able to grow stronger in battle by either killing, assisting in the kill, or just staying throughout the battle itself. And this attack buff is permanent. You're able to gain up to 4 stacks, and on top of the attack buff, you will gain enhanced attack, which deals true damage based on the percentage of enemy's HP. So when you combine this damage stack with the EX weapon attack stack as well over here, together with her massive AoE damage from the Rainstorm Ballet, this allows her to be a really elusive damage dealer that grows stronger in battle the longer she stays around. So the ultimate is a more PvP centric skill, but in certain situations where you cancel the right ultimate from the enemy's end, for example like Lumon, you can prevent the enemy from repositioning your other win condition, which is Smoky. You can also use this ultimate to cancel the heals from Hewin from the enemy's end, or even cancel the ultimate coming from Cisia, so that you have lesser control on your team itself. So there is a lot of ways for you to use Lily May, and this team is very auto friendly as well, because I personally autoed over 20 stages until I'm stuck here, and then I decided to on the recording to show you guys how this team function on the manual mode and then run it on auto. So now I'm gonna showcase the battle as well as the runs, and then just explain like Lily May's power as a whole. Okay, so there's this really annoying tornado right here, so super duper annoying, and I have to use Iron to manually pull them in, unfortunately. Okay, so right now we are waiting for them to come down. Okay, so now we are going to put them in, because now they are no longer in inbound state. So for this stage itself, specifically, there's quite a bit of magic damage reduction. So the damage output coming out from Lily May is, I'll say, kind of limited. So we have to rely on Smoky as our win condition. So there is I'll say like 2 main win conditions for this team, or actually 3. One, the win condition is obviously relying on Smokey. 2, okay, this tornado is killing me, too much damage. We're gonna start off by pulling them in and then pulling them into Smokey's ultimate. Okay, so there is actually quite a few win conditions for this team. So other than your standard Iron pulling into Smokey ultimate, you have Lily May as well, the core win conditions, if you're able to build up stacks on her for her to just hit really hard to bring down the enemies. Another win condition you have is just Lily May combined with Iron, dealing massive AoE magical damage, where I'll be able to showcase later after this, after I kill the enemy. So that's another win condition. So we are using our dear evocation spell because, right, we're using evocation spell because I want to give that damage buff to Lily May, so she will be like this main star of the show instead of relying on Smokey. So usually when you talk about Smokey teams in general, Smokey teams usually relies on another artifact which enhance haste to quickly get Smokey's ultimate out. But for this team itself, you don't actually need, oh yeah, this one, Cascade Spell over here. So usually when you do a Smokey team, people run with Cascade Spell. You can also run Cascade Spell over here, but because the idea of this team is because I want to build Lily May as the main carry for the team, so instead of relying too much on Smokey's ultimate as the win condition, I'm trying to branch out the different win conditions so that Lily May can step in and become the main carry for the squad. So that's auto battle while I speak. Okay, so I think the idea of this team is quite straightforward. It's just a Smokey team packaged with the addition of Lily May. So I decided to not use Cascade Spell because using the evocation spell itself gives your whole team more damage output, giving other units the chance to shine, and me being able to call this team more of a Lily May centric team. Because if I'm just gonna make any team with Smokey and then throw in a unit and then call that team that unit's team, that is kind of unfair, right? Because it's just Smokey teams in general. But surprisingly, right, Lily May over here performs really well. Later on I will showcase the damage report. She performs really well in PvE because of the massive damage potential she can do across the different battles I had with her. So this is just going to be one of them. So I'm just going to let it run at auto. So auto battling is one of the benchmark that I have for this team. So this is the current benchmark. Okay, so we're going to showcase the damage report first before we move on to the next round. So this is the damage report right here. So as you guys can see, yes, Smokey did a lot as the smoker for the team, as the damage dealer, as the heal, as well as the buffer. But if you take a look at the main damage dealer, is actually Lily May. So this is because she is able to build up a lot of damage, and when you have the massive magical defense debuff from Iron, as well as her second skill which just runs around, you know, omni slashing everyone, doing that ballet stuff, that's a lot of damage. So if the enemies don't have massive magical damage reduction, she's able to carry the team on her own. So let's continue. Okay, so another thing about Lily May that I think people do ask a lot, right, is how does her ultimate targeting work, right? If you have Brian, if you have Iron, if you have all the units that uses their ultimate at the start of the battle, who does she prioritize? So my answer to that question is I will actually need more testing, because number one, it's hard to set up a condition while you have all those units with their EX weapon developed all together, because in PvP nobody's gonna run those weaker units. They're just gonna run the meta PvE teams, and there's no friendly mode for me to test out the different combos that you guys might want to see now. So that's why with regards to how her ultimate will react when there's a lot of units with the ultimate at start of the battle, I will actually need more time to test between the different units. So that is something which I will try to deliver, but no promise on that. Okay, so right here my supports died unfortunately because of the movement of the chicken. So what I'll do is I'll spread out my units so that the chicken don't stampede over everyone. So this team is super duper auto friendly, because what I'm trying to do is to run the team on auto while talking to you guys. So this is one issue. Okay, let me reposition Smokey again. Okay, so for this stage, after a few rounds of testing, I think we will have to manual the stage to pull the enemies back to the back line, because the chicken is really annoying. So we can't put our supports in the front. We have to manually use Iron's ultimate to pull them back so that Smokey can kill a few of them first, and then we can start relying on Lily May's power to clean house. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them in. Okay, pull them in closer to Smokey's ultimate right here. And because they do run to the back line, so yeah, I don't think it's that hard to pull them in. Okay, so that's a second ultimate on Smokey. Almost uses the ultimate for additional stun. So one thing about this Iron and Armor's combo is that the control that this two duo can give is immediate as well as very drawn out. So this is where you guys can see, you know, you just buy enough time for the units to start stacking up, either Smokey's ultimate or Lily May's damage stacking in general. Okay, so I think we got this stage. Okay, pretty much done. So yeah, there is gonna be a few stages where you just can't auto because of how the enemy's minion work. So this is one of them. But let's go back to autoing. Let's go back to being lazy once again. Okay, so repositioning everything. Okay, so continuing on the topic just now, Lily May has a lot of different caveats to her that I think I can't explain it in just one day. I need more people showcasing her. I need more, I'll say, like situations where I can use her on those conditions that people mention. So that's why I mentioned it is it needs some time to test, right? At least from the testing compartment. At the same time, I really hope they kind of give us like some friendly PvP feature. So this is where I can step in and test stuff with my friends to showcase to you guys, because testing in this game is not easy because there's a lot of variables that we need to sort of set right to ensure that the experiment is fair. So this is where, you know, friendly PvP could be really helpful. So you guys can see right here, right? Lily May is gonna be this very elusive character that jumps around, killing people, buffing herself, and then doing a lot of damage from there. So this will be the last run. I'll just let it run on auto and then showcase the final run itself. And then you guys probably know how strong Lily May is as a unit, right now. At least as a carry position that is able to last throughout the battle. Okay. So Iron pulls everyone together for the additional control. And then we reach Smokey's second ultimate. And then one more ultimate before Smokey starts to burn down. Another synergy for the team, right, is actually Smokey being able to kill the enemies fast. For Lily May to actually stack up on her skills itself. So right here starts killing. Iron died, but it's fine. Okay, so even if they are not like killed by Smokey's ultimate, is fine because Lily May already started to build up. So Lily May will now be able to clean house with all the damage stacks. So this is basically her. She's super duper elusive, right? Jumping around, doing damage. And then right here, Coco's not able to use the ultimate because we have the defensive stance on Lily May. So when Coco uses the ultimate, okay, she doesn't have it, unfortunately. So we didn't cancel Coco's ultimate, but it's fine because I think we still have enough damage to deal with Coco right there. Right, please tell me. Okay, the ultimate is gonna come in. Please cancel. Okay, so she has the ultimate active, so she comes in, cancel the ultimate. Nice. Okay, 4 seconds. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can you use the ultimate? Jumps in again. Okay, clutch, 0 seconds to end of this video, guys. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video, right? This is the final damage distribution. So for this team itself, I think Lily May is definitely replaceable for a standard Smokey team. But let's say if you're somebody who's a Lily May enjoyer like myself and you want the best team for her, this is probably the best setup right now, at the very least in terms of my own experience right there. Let me know down in the comment section below whether or not you have better teams for her, as well as your opinions about her as a PvE unit moving forward. Stay tuned for more video on Lily May, and I'll see you guys again in my next AFK journey video. Bye guys!